The Kansas City T-Bones proudly present T-Bones Baseball on the Air. Members of the American Association of Independent Professional Baseball Clubs and home of fun well done. The T-Bones Broadcast Network is brought to you by Community America Credit Union, Austin's Trailers and Motorsports, Budweiser, Coca-Cola, Price Chopper, Providence Medical Center, the Kansas Lottery, FlyKCI.com, Roma Bakery, Sheet Metal Local Number 2, and Kissick Construction. Now let's head out to the ballpark for the starting lineups and the first pitch with the voice of the T-Bones, Nathan Moore. Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome into the finale of this homestand, the finale of this three-game series here with Laredo. Here from Community America Ballpark, Matt Folks here along with you, filling in for Nathan Moore. Kansas City lost the second game of the series, which concluded just a little bit ago, about 30 minutes ago, by a final of 3-0. We'll talk about that game as we move along here tonight. One thing we're going to do, I'm going to give you a heads up. One thing we're going to do tonight that we normally do not do, generally we go through the starting lineups and then we take a break for the national anthem. Tonight we have probably my all-time favorite, certainly in 5 years out here, all-time favorite anthem singer. He's been out here several times, and you will want to hear it tonight. It is a lot of fun. It is outstanding, and that is coming up here in just a few moments. Both teams going with the exact same lineups that they had last game. First for the visiting Lemurs, who now come in here 49-38. Kansas City 39-49. Leading off will be the third baseman Abel Nieves. Batting second in right field, Dennis Phipps. Batting third, your designated hitter, Ty Morrison. Jesus Poso is at first base and batting fourth. Batting fifth, the catcher, Zane Chavez. J.D. Pulford's at second base and batting sixth. Batting seventh in left field, Burt Reynolds. Brendan Metzger is in center field, batting eighth. And Alvaro Rondon batting ninth, and he's your shortstop. For your pitching tonight, the in between of a doubleheader or two games. Technically, this isn't a technical doubleheader, but the in between can be kind of hectic, and so hopefully my brain will catch up with me here momentarily. But the pitcher tonight for Laredo is Troy Marks. He's 5-4, the 4.57 ERA. They're managed by Pete Incaviglia. On the other side for Kansas City, leading off with the center fielder, Tyler Massey. Dalton Wheat is in right field starting this game, and batting second, Starlin Rodriguez got the final two at-bats in the first game here today and played right field, but Dalton Wheat starting there here in this finale. At second base, batting third is Brett Wiley. Jake Blackwood at first base, batting fourth. Anthony Gallus is your DH and batting fifth. Batting sixth, the left fielder, Tyson Gillies. Vladimir Frias at shortstop, he's batting seventh. Batting eighth at third base is Ryan Retz, and batting ninth, the catcher, Nolan Johnson. So again for Kansas City, Massey, Wheat, Wiley, Blackwood, Gallus, Gillies, Frias, Retz, and Johnson, with Jordan Cooper on the hill tonight for Kansas City. The T-Bones had a similar situation Friday night into Saturday with a suspended game on Friday night that was concluded on Saturday. Jordan Cooper pitched the second game of that, and again, this is a 7-inning game here for this second game, but Jordan Cooper, much like he did Saturday night, will get the call here tonight. Cooper 3-4, the 4.06 ERA. He got the win in that game against Texas on Saturday night. So Kansas City losing a tough one here today by a final of 3-0. Laredo with 3 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors, 12 left on in that first game. Kansas City, no runs, 3 hits, 4 errors, and 2 left on. Mike Kickham, who started last night, ends up getting the loss. Zach Dotson, who was the first pitcher today for the Lemurs, he got the win. And Jeff Inman came in, pitched a ninth inning, and he got the save. There were 3,467 here for that game. And the time of that game was 2 hours and 37 minutes. So we get set for the finale. Kansas City again 39-49, Laredo 49-38. We cannot stress this enough that every win, every game at this point is a must-win for Kansas City if they want to have any chance of making the postseason. So we're going to get set for the singing of our national anthem. And then we'll take a quick break after that. But you need to hear this. I don't know if you'll have the same chills that I have here, but stay tuned. Here we go.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so calmly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars drove perilous fight? For the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rugged red flag of thirsty air yet proved for one night that our flag was still there. For sailors that star-spangled banner yet wave, for the land of the free and the hope of the brave.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
Welcome back to Community America Ballpark as we get set for game number 3 in this series, the series finale, the homestand finale. Here, this 6-game and 7-day homestand for Kansas City. Matt Volkster along with you on a cloudy night with the wind blowing in sharply from left and left center. Jordan Cooper on the hill tonight for Kansas City. He'll be facing Abel Nieves, Dennis Phipps, and Ty Morrison as we go here to the top of the first inning of a 7-inning game. First pitch to Nieves, grounded to Frias at short. Vladdy up with it over in plenty of time for out number 1. A nice ceremony before the game today. Here of this game, honoring our host families. And you know, we've talked about this before as Dennis Phipps comes up, but we are somewhat biased, sure, but when you talk to the players, and you talk to players who have been in affiliated, as Phipps goes after the first one, nice backhand play by the third baseman, Retz. who throws to first, and they're going to say Blackwood came off the base, and now the first base umpire, Kurt Brandon, will call his umpiring crew over. A.J. Choke at home plate, Kyle Kilgore at third, and now they'll say that indeed Phipps was out. You know, you have to hand it to this umpiring crew, and in particular hand it to first base umpire Kurt Brandon. Actually, we saw something similar with A.J. Choke in the first game in the last inning when there was a close play at first, and the umpires conferred and said, in that case, Jake Blackwood was safe at first base. But without, and John Mazzarelli made it about 3 steps out before the umpires got together. But for first base umpire Kurt Brandon to just immediately say, hey, let's get together and let's get this thing right. Here's the 1-1 to Morrison. It's in there for a call and strike. So the Lemurs, at least the first 2 batters, Nieves and Phipps, going after the first pitches that each one saw from Jordan Cooper. Here's the 1-2 from Coop. It's lifted into left field. Gillies is right there to camp under and make the play for out number 3. So a 3-up, 3-down inning. We go to the bottom of the first. Laredo nothing, Kansas City coming up after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
Country Inn and Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn and Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
We go to the bottom of the first inning as Troy Marks, the 6'5", 210-pound right-hander, will get the start for Laredo tonight. Marks is a rookie, 5-4, 4.57 ERA. Here in the first inning, he'll be facing Tyler Massey, Dalton Wade, Brett Wiley. But going back to that situation with the umpires and them conferring very quickly, we have seen situations this year, we've seen it a couple times when umpires could have gotten together, could have double-checked if they got a call correctly or not. And Maz one time earlier this season, I believe he was ejected that night for arguing a play at third base that all he was really asking the umpiring crew to do is just get together and make sure they got the call right. Tyler Massey, the batter now, as this pitch misses inside, 2-0 is the count to Massey. Tyler went 0 for 4 in the first game here today. Struck out 3 times. Watch as this one from Marks go right down the chute for a called strike. Marks went undrafted out of the University of Nevada, Reno. Big swing and a miss. Spent 2014 in the Frontier League. The windup in the 2-2 to Massey. Grounded up the middle. Fielded by the shortstop Rondon behind the bag. He throws to first in time for out number 1. Last season, Arizona signed Marks, and he spent time at every level of the Diamondbacks organization. Every level in the minor leagues, we should say, for the Diamondbacks. Dalton Wheat, the batter now, as the first pitch to Wheat is lined into center field for a base hit. So Wheat with a 1-out single here in the first. And with one away and a runner at first, it brings up the second baseman, Brett Wiley. Wheat singled with 1 out in the first inning last night, but then was caught stealing. As the clouds begin to move in a little bit more as this pitch is upstairs to Wiley. Last night, it was pretty much guaranteed that we'd see rain at some point. The predictions were anywhere from 8 to 10 o'clock. And sure enough, it hit about 8. Here's the 1-0 pitch. It's upstairs. There's a chance of a couple pop-up showers here tonight, but most of the rain is scheduled to hit late tonight. The 2-0 pitch is fouled back and out of play. Wiley, after the first game, sitting at .323 with 5 home runs, 42 RBIs. He leads the T-Bones with 101 hits. As Marks, the right-hander, kicks and delivers, and it's fouled back and out of play over the third base dugout of the Lemurs. Wiley first in hits with 101. Second in doubles with 21, right behind Tyler Massey's 22. Massey, incidentally, is on pace to become the second Kansas City batter with 100 hits this season. He's sitting at 95. As Wiley fouls this one into the Kansas City dugout. A gaggle full of T-Bones with 3 triples this season, including Wiley. He is 5th on the team with 5 RBIs. Check the 5 home runs, 42 RBIs. Telling you, the in-between 2 games kind of gets squirrely as he fouls this one off. So Wiley making Marks work here in the first inning. 1 out here in the first, no score. 2-2 the count. Massey grounded out. Wheat singled. Marks already at 12 pitches. A long look at first. Now he comes to the plate with it. Big swing and a miss. So Marks gets his first strikeout of the game and the second out here in the first inning. throughout the night tonight, they'll show, I think we recorded 5 or 6 players talking about their favorite Little League memory. Jake's played last night and then again here before he came up. Blackwood digs in on the right side of the plate. As the first pitch from Marks is right down the chute for a called strike. So Jake's favorite Little League memory was, he said before his first Little League World Series game, the first at bat, the first pitch he saw, he hit a home run. Rumor has it the Laredo players really loved hearing that today. They got a big kick out of that. Blackwood is one of those guys that, I mean, we're biased. We see him on a daily basis, but around the league, he's just highly respected by players throughout this league, by managers and coaches. One of the good guys in this league. As Wheat dives back safely. And I have seen a lot of players in a Kansas City uniform in these 5 years, and Jake is easily in the top 5 of just easiest to work with, accommodating, as this one-strike pitch is swung on and lifted into right field. However, it will stay up in the air, giving Phipps long enough to camp under and pull it down for out number 3. Blackwood gives it a ride, but just a long out for the third out. We've played an inning. We head to the second. No score here at Community America Ballpark. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. Providence Medical Group has offices in Bonner Springs, Basehor, Tonganoxie, Lansing, Leavenworth, and KCK. That's why we're the go-to community hospital in the region. If you're a T-Bones fan, count on the medical team that takes care of your team. The great doctors of Providence Medical Center, just east of the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Learn more at providencekc.com.
Heathwood Oil Company was the first independently owned oil company in Kansas City, and they're now one of the oldest continuously family-owned oil companies in the Midwest, featuring Citgo lubricants. With a current bulk storage capacity of over 250,000 gallons, they have the products you need. Let Heathwood and Citgo design a Citgo lubricants program to reduce cost and increase production. Call 913-321-1764 or email sales@heathwoodoil.com. Heathwood and Citgo, your lubrication specialist since 1926.
We go to the second. No score here at Community America Ballpark. Matt Folks here along with you tonight. Intern Sam King will be with you from Gary and Fargo beginning tomorrow night. 3 games in Gary, 4 in Fargo. Then Kansas City back 1 week from tomorrow for its final homestand, final weekend series here in 2016. As the first pitch from Cooper to Poso misses upstairs. Poso 2 for 5 in the second game of the series. Watches this one go by for a called strike. Batting .289. The kick and the pitch is lined off the glove of Cooper. He'll knock it down and flip it over to Blackwood for out number 1. Really, that was just a I need to protect my head kind of stop by Jordan Cooper. So his catcher, Nolan Johnson, will go out and just make sure he's okay, make sure he has his wits about him. But just a rocket off the bat of Poso. So a 1-3 put out for out number 1. It brings up the catcher, Chavez. Chavez in on the left side of the plate takes a big swing and a miss at the first offering. Change up from Cooper. John Mazzarelli kind of juggling his rotation around a little bit as this one's off the end of the bat and foul. Originally, Sean Fernie was supposed to go in Game 2 of this series, and Kickham was supposed to go tonight. It was switched, however, to give Jordan Cooper a chance to start here tonight, as he and his wife are expecting their first child any day now, as this ball is lifted into left field. Gillies camps under it and pulls it down for out number 2. So John Mazzarelli giving Coop the start today. Otherwise, he would have had to start tomorrow in Gary. And for those of you who are fathers, especially with your first child, think back to the anticipation, the excitement of that. And Coop said earlier in this homestand that he said, my greatest fear is we'll be in Gary when my wife delivers, as this ball is fouled in the seats. So they're able to work it out where Fernie will now start tomorrow night. Cooper starting here tonight. He'll get a chance to be at home in Topeka this weekend, and hopefully the birth will happen this weekend, and then B, we do wish the Coopers the best of luck through the delivery process this weekend. Hope that all goes well. We will keep you updated, though, with how everything turns out, boy or girl. They don't know yet. Here's the 0-2 to Pulfer. Right down the chute for a called third strike. So Jordan Cooper gets his first strikeout of the night and a 1-2-3 inning here in the second. We go to the bottom of the second. Kansas City and Laredo scoreless here from Community America Ballpark. Back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
Anthony Gallus, Tyson Gillies, Vladimir Frias coming up for Kansas City here in the second inning against Troy Marks. No score here at Community America Ballpark. Matt Folks here along with you on a nice cloudy night. As Anthony Gallus comes up, they're now playing his video. His was a little bit longer. His Little League memory is he talked about, he said there's not really, there's some laughter down in the crowd. He said there wasn't really a particular game, particular memory, but he said really it's just a culmination of being with my teammates, and he said especially going to tournaments on the road and lighting firecrackers in the parking lot as he lines the 1-0 pitch out to left field for a base hit. So Gallus aboard, leading off the second inning, and brings up the left fielder, Tyson Gillies. Gillies 1 for 3 in the first game. And on the left side of the plate, third baseman Nieves way in as Gillies shows bunt and pulls it back. Pitch nonetheless is in there for a called strike. Now we have not seen Gillies, at least not here at home. We have not seen him with a slash play where you show bunt and pull back and swing. Nieves might have thought twice as Gillies swings and misses at this one. And Nieves was charging in hard from third base. You know, one of the best I have seen at that was Freddie Patek. He did that several times throughout his career, mainly with the Kansas City Royals. Here's the two-strike pitch. Low and inside to Gillies. But essentially in a bunting situation, you square around and at the last minute you pull it back and swing away. Nieves way off the bag at third. Here's the 1-2. Swung on a miss. Gillies, I said it last game, there are certain times that he can take a swing, almost an Ichiro type swing, where it looks like he's trying to run to first without actually hitting it, and can look really bad on a pitch that he misses outside, and that was the case right there on that pitch from Troy Marks. So Marks with his second strikeout and the first out here in the second inning. Brings up the shortstop, Vladimir Frias. Vladdy batting .244, 7 home runs, 37 driven in. And on the left side of the plate against the right-hander Marks. Vladdy wiggling that bat as we see him do from the left side. Doesn't do it as much, I don't think, from the right. But the first pitch is fouled into the seats. As a left-handed hitter, Frias batting .244. 54 hits and 221 at-bats. On the other side of the plate, Frias is batting .250. As this one's blown away on an 85-mile-an-hour fastball from Marks. From the right side, Vladdy is 22 for 88. As the next pitch is grounded sharply into right field, Gallus will round second. He will head toward third. The throw to third base is not in time. On the base hit from Vladimir Frias with one out here in the second inning. So Vladimir Frias with his second hit here in this series. And he gives Kansas City runners at the corners with one out for Ryan Retz. Retz, 6 feet, 216 pounds. Out of Tucson, Arizona. A rookie utility player. We've seen him mainly at third. Frias goes. Pitch is swung on a miss. The throw down to second is in time. And Frias is caught stealing on a play that really was not close. Chavez threw a strike down to second base, and Frias will be caught for the 8th time this year. He is now 14 for 22 on stolen base attempts. So now with 2 outs, the next pitch is in there for a strike, and just like that, Kansas City goes from runners at the corners with 1 out, a really good chance to get on the board first, to now 2 outs and an 0-2 count to Ryan Retz. Retz, since joining Kansas City during this homestand, batting .167. And on the right side of the plate, the kick and the pitch. Big swing and a miss. So a matter of 3 pitches, Kansas City will go from runners at the corners with 1 out to a runner at third stranded with 3 outs. That's the 3rd strikeout of the game for Troy Marks. We've now played 2. We head to the 3rd scoreless. We'll be back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
We go to the 3rd inning. It'll be the 7, 8, 9 hitters, Reynolds, Metzger, and Rondon here to face Jordan Cooper. This is a 7-inning game, so when you waste an opportunity with runners at the corners and nobody out, it can just be magnified. I apologize. I glanced up. The count's 1-1 to Reynolds, but if you're here at the stadium, just look at the clouds. It's a gorgeous sky tonight as the 1-1 pitch paints the black on the outside corner for a called strike. Cooper with the 1-2 pitch. One hopper right back to Coop, who will throw to first and get Reynolds on the 1-3 putout for out number 1. So with the 1 away, brings up the center fielder, Brendan Metzger. No score between Kansas City and Laredo as we go here to the top of the 3rd. As the first pitch misses to Metzger. Metzger, the center fielder, batting .128, no home runs and 4 RBIs. The next pitch, fastball, is upstairs. Metzger went 0 for 3. In game number 2 of the series, I keep wanting to say last night, today, so if I say last night or today, it's all one and the same. As this one misses upstairs and Coop behind the count 3-0. Metzger walked in the 8th inning earlier today as this pitch is right down the middle for a called strike. He also flied out a couple times, reached on an error in the 2nd inning and ended up scoring. Here's a 3-1 pitch. It is on the inside part of the plate for a called strike. So the count full now as Cooper has worked from 3-0 back to 3-2. Here's the windup and the payoff pitch. Lined into left field for a base hit. So Metzger, the number 8 hitter, will be the first base runner of the night here for the Lemurs. But Cooper has looked really sharp here thus far. Brings on the shortstop, Alvaro Rondon. Rondon batting .288. And on the left side of the plate as the first pitch is in there for a called strike. Rondon went 4 for 5 out of the 9 hole on Tuesday night. He then went 1 for 4 in game number 2. As this pitch is upstairs, runner goes. Throw down to second from Johnson is in time. And Tyler Johnson will erase Brennan Metzger, who will be caught stealing for out number 2. The throw is a little bit high, but an outstanding quick tag by Vladimir Frias. And now 2 outs in the inning, and Rondon fouls this one back to the screen. It's 1-2. So Frias was caught stealing in the bottom of the 2nd inning, and here in the top of the 3rd, he will apply a nice tag, a quick tag, to catch Metzger trying to steal. This pitch misses inside. It's even up 2-2. That is Brennan Metzger's first stolen base attempt. Cooper with the payoff pitch to Rondon, and it's inside. So Cooper with his first walk, and with that walk, with 2 outs here in the 3rd, we go back to the top now to Abel Nieves. Nieves went after the first pitch he saw from Cooper back in the 1st inning and grounded out to Vladimir Frias. Cooper working out of the stretch. The first pitch to Nieves down in the dirt. Johnson doing a nice job blocking it and keeping Rondon at first base. No score, top of the 3rd inning of this 7-inning game. Kansas City lost the first one today, 3-0. Quick throw to first, but diving back safely is Rondon. Unlike Metzger, Rondon is a stolen base threat. He has 19 on the season as this ball is swung on and lifted into center. Massey goes back, reaches up, and makes the play for the final out. So Laredo gets a couple base runners here in the 3rd inning, but Rondon, after Metzger was caught stealing, Rondon will be stranded at first. We go to the bottom of the third. No score. Back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
Heathwood Oil Company was the first independently owned oil company in Kansas City, and they're now one of the oldest continuously family-owned oil companies in the Midwest, featuring Citgo lubricants. With a current bulk storage capacity of over 250,000 gallons, they have the products you need. Let Heathwood and Citgo design a Citgo lubricants program to reduce cost and increase production. Call 913-321-1764 or email sales@heathwoodoil.com. Heathwood and Citgo, your lubrication specialist since 1926.
So one hit for Laredo. 3 hits for Kansas City. Neither team has scored. As we go to the bottom half of the third inning, Nolan Johnson, Tyler Massey, Dalton Wheat. Nolan Johnson has caught earlier today, now catching this game as he goes after the first pitch. Grounds it just under a diving Rondon into center field for a leadoff single. So 4 hits here in the game for Kansas City against Troy Marks. Johnson has caught all 3 games of this series, which on the surface is not odd, except generally when you see a guy catching most of the first game of a basically doubleheader, he doesn't catch the second game. But earlier today, it was announced that Tyler Moore is essentially done for the season, as this ball is fouled back and out of play. As he suffered some type of broken finger earlier in this homestand, actually Saturday night against Texas. So he is done. Kansas City bringing in a new catcher. We may see him tonight. If we do, I will tell you about him then. But as of right this second, Johnson is Kansas City's only catcher. As this pitch is high and away to Massey, the count now 1-1. So Kansas City with 4 hits. Dalton Wheat, Anthony Gallus, Vladimir Frias, and now Nolan Johnson. Massey, who has 95 hits on the season, in on the left side of the plate. The 1-1 pitch is on the inside part of the plate for a called strike. Massey with a quick double take to A.J. Choke behind the plate. Kurt Brandon, your first base umpire, Kyle Kilgore at third. As we saw from Laredo in the first game today, they're in their camouflage jerseys with the gray pants. The next pitch from Marks is high and away to Massey. Laredo defensively in the outfield, Reynolds, Metzger, and Phipps. The infield from third to first, Nieves, Rondon, Pulfer, and Poso. As Marks, the right-hander, comes set at the belt. The 2-2. Big swing and a miss. So Massey will be the 4th strikeout here in the game for Marks. And with 1 away here in the third, it brings up the right fielder, Dalton Wheat. Clouds getting a little darker as we basically have hit sunset. Dalton Wheat in on the left side. Marks the right-hander, kicks and delivers. Johnson gets his lead at first, and the pitch is in there for a strike. Dalton Wheat singled with one out in the first inning, but he was stranded at first after Wiley struck out and Blackwood flied out. But Wheat, the rookie, really has not cooled off this season. Still batting .331. No home runs, 22 driven in. As the next pitch, curveball at 72 is in there for a called strike. Wheat coming to the T-Bones right after his collegiate career at Emporia State had ended within just a couple weeks. Got off to a hot start, as we see a lot of rookies do, but he just has not cooled off. Here's a two-strike pitch. Swing and a miss. The ball gets away from Chavez, but with a runner at first, Wheat will be out. So back-to-back strikeouts for Marks. He has 5 in the game. With 2 outs, it brings up Brett Wiley. Wiley was Marks' first strikeout victim tonight, back in the first inning. We're in the bottom half of the third inning, no score. One hit for the Lemurs, 4 hits for Kansas City, including a leadoff single here in the third by Nolan Johnson. Wiley, the left-handed hitter, goes after the first pitch and fouls it back and over our heads. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Johnson with his lead at first. The kick and the pitch. Curveball that gets away from Marks and left upstairs. The T-Bones had their final off day of the year this past Monday night. So they end the season with 14 consecutive games. They'll begin their final road trip tomorrow night as Wiley fouls this one back to the screen. 3 games in Gary, 4 games in Fargo. And 3 different times in Gary, 7:10 tomorrow night, 6:10 on Saturday night, 2:10 on Sunday afternoon. Marks with the 1-2 pitch. It's way inside to Wiley. Wiley had 2 hits on Tuesday night, went hitless in game 2. And he's 0 for 1 here with a 2-2 count. Left upstairs by Marks. In the 13-9 game on Tuesday night, every Kansas City starter except Nolan Johnson had at least 1 hit. As Johnson gets a sizable lead at first with a 3-2 count. The kick and the pitch. Johnson takes off, and the pitch is upstairs. So Brett Wiley will be the first walk of the night, given up by Troy Marks. He was the first strikeout in the first inning, and he'll be the first walk here in the third. And Kansas City will have runners at first and second now for Jake Blackwood. Blackwood went opposite field in the first inning and took Marks for a ride, but Phipps, the right fielder, was able to track it down for the final out. If that ball had gone by Phipps, Kansas City would have taken a 1-0 lead with the speedy Wheat taking off. As it stands, we remain scoreless here in the bottom of the third. Johnson at second base, Wiley at first. Neither runner being held on. First pitch to Blackwood is in there for a called strike. I had mentioned every Kansas City starter on Tuesday night had at least one hit. 14 total in the game, 3 by this guy, Jake Blackwood. And on the right side of the plate, marks the right-hander, kicks and delivers, and the one-strike pitch is a bit low. Blackwood with 3 hits and 3 runs scored on Tuesday night. That was a game that Kansas City lost 13-9. Game 2 was a little less eventful at 3-0. Here's the 1-1. Swung on, popped up, shallow right field. Pulfer going back, Phipps coming in, and the right fielder Phipps calls Pulfer off, camps under it and pulls it down for the final out. So Kansas City gets a couple base runners on, but unable to do anything here in the bottom of the third. We go to the fourth. Scoreless, back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
Welcome back to Community America Ballpark as we go to the fourth inning, scoreless between Kansas City and Laredo. Kansas City has won one of their 5 games thus far here in this homestand. That came on Saturday night behind the pitching of tonight's pitcher, Jordan Cooper. In that game against Texas, Coop gave up 6 hits and 3 runs in 6 innings. As the next pitch to Phipps misses down low. 2-0 now to Phipps. Phipps grounded out his first time up. The windup and the 2-ball pitch tried to hold up on a swing, but he went around. He knew it immediately. Cooper faced Laredo on July 14th in a 4-2 Kansas City win. As this one's lined to Vladimir Frias, and the shortstop with a nice play for out number 1. It almost looked like it caught Frias off guard. I mean, it was lined so sharply, but it was almost as if the ball really came sharply off the bat of Phipps, but then seemed to just kind of hang there for a moment and Vladdy was ready for the play and out number 1. So Ty Morrison, the batter now. Morrison flied out, ending the first inning. Grounds this one just foul down the first base side. Kansas City here in the second game. They had their black jerseys on in the first game. They have their oxblood jerseys on here in game number 2. Trimmed in black and white with the white pants. Jordan Cooper wheels and deals the 1-1 to Morrison. And it misses inside. The next pitch upstairs. And it's 3-1 to Morrison. Cooper has walked 1 here tonight. He walked Rondon last inning. Takes a deep breath. Now the windup in the 3-1. In there for a called strike. Tonight, the final Throwdown Thursday, last $1.25 beer night here this season, as the 3-2 pitch misses outside. So 2 walks now for Cooper. And Bill Sobey will quickly come out and chat with Cooper and catcher Nolan Johnson. So the final $1.25 beer night, but more importantly tonight was Lochte Gate night. In honor or dishonor of U.S. swimmer Ryan Lochte and his boys who lied about what happened to them in Rio last week. It was a chance tonight for fans who were willing to don a Speedo to get a free ticket here tonight, or they could dye their hair silver. I will leave the hair comment alone because there's a fine line, especially with some gray hair on my head. But I will say, thankfully, I do not see any Speedos. Poso, the batter now. The first pitch in there for a strike to Poso after the meeting with pitching coach Bill Sobey. Now, that does not mean there are no Speedos here tonight. I just don't see any, thank goodness. Quick snap throw from Cooper over to first, but diving back safely is Morrison. 1 away, top of the 4th inning, no score. A 7-inning game, so as you get into what would be normally the middle innings of a game, even more crucial when you're playing 7. Another snap throw over to first, but again, back safely is Morrison. Poso 0 for 1 tonight. He lined one in the second inning off the glove of Cooper, and Cooper just picked it up and made the out. This time, Poso will bloop one into right field. It gets away from Weed, but Morrison will hold up at second base. So a 1-out single by Poso. Now with runners at first and second and 1 out, it brings up Zane Chavez. Two hits in the game now for the Lemurs. They had one last inning. After Cooper went through the first 7 batters without any problems. Last inning, he gave up a base hit to Metzger, walked Rondon, and then got Nieves to fly out. As the first pitch to Chavez fouled back and out of play. Phipps led off this inning, lining out to Frias at short. Then after a walk to Morrison and a base hit by Poso, runners at the corners with 1 out and an 0-1 count to Chavez. Cooper, the right-handed pitcher, kicks and delivers, and the off-speed pitch is in there for a called strike. Cooper out of Topeka, Kansas. Went to Shawnee Heights High School. Selected in 2008 by the Boston Red Sox out of high school, as this pitch misses down low and goes right through the wickets of Nolan Johnston, the catcher, and just like that, runners will be at second and third with one out. A low pitch, but not a pitch in the dirt. Johnson, it looked like, just kind of glanced up, and the ball went right through his legs. The count 1-2 to Chavez. Cooper comes set at the belt. The 1-2. Grounded sharply, backhanded off the glove of Blackwood. That's going to score 2. And Laredo will take a 2-0 lead. We have seen some bullets off the bats of a few Laredo hitters tonight, and that was no exception there. As Blackwood did all he could to at least stop the ball on the backhand. But it just went off his glove and into right field. So a 2-run single for Chavez makes it a 2-0 game here in the fourth. That's the first pitch in there for a strike. I'm not sure you might have been able to hear the Laredo dugout not happy with that call from A.J. Shoke. Here's the one-strike pitch. And it missed somewhere. This inning started innocently enough on a line-out by Dennis Phipps. But the last 3 hitters have reached for the Lemurs. Middle infield at double play depth. Next pitch to Pulfer is at the knees for a called strike. It's 1-2. Retz was playing deep at third. Now he comes in almost even with the bag as the pitch is a slider in the dirt blocked by Johnson. So that pass ball was huge as it allowed Morrison and Poso to go to second and third. And both scored on that liner by Chavez. Here's the 2-2. On the ground, just past a diving Vladimir Frias into left field. So 4 consecutive have reached, a walk, and 3 straight base hits. Runners at first and second now, with 1 out for Burt Reynolds. Reynolds grounded out to Cooper his last time up. First pitch misses way outside. Reynolds batting .252. Fouls this one back and over our heads. .252 with 23 home runs and 49 RBIs. Steps back in on the right side of the plate, and for the longest time, as he was trying to get his timing down, just pointing his bat to center. Now Cooper's pitch is at the knees for a strike, much to the displeasure of Reynolds. And now Cooper and Johnson will convene in front of the pitcher's mound and try to make sure they're on the same page. Cooper checks the runner at second. Another check, now the 1-2 pitch. Slow roller toward third. Rents up with it. His only play is to first. He throws to first in time to get Reynolds on the 5-3 putout. That ball took about 2 big hops and then pretty much died, but Retz was able to field it and make an exceptionally strong throw. To, we'll say, get Reynolds. Runners move up to second and third, and now the batter will be Metzger. It's probably a good thing that the American Association does not have instant replay. A great play by Retz, a strong throw by Retz, but Reynolds might have been safe. Big swing and a miss. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Laredo with 2 runs here in the 4th inning leads it 2-0. Chavez at third base, Pulfer at second. Metzger with an 0-2 count. Here's the pitch. Off speed pitch, low and away. We have seen Cooper miss with that pitch a couple times, low and away. Basically in the batter's box for a left-handed hitter. Johnson with a nice block, keeping another run off the board. As the 1-2 pitch is upstairs. Metzger singled in the 3rd inning, last inning, and was caught stealing, 2-6. Here's the 2-2. Down low and away. Kansas City has dropped the first 2 games of this series. 13-9 Tuesday night, 3-0 in the first game, and now they're going to go down 4-0 here as Metzger lines this one to the left field corner. 2 runs easily score. A strong throw into second base, but standing up with his second hit of the night is Metzger, and he is now 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs. So Chavez and Pulfer come in to score. And it's now a 4-0 game here in the 4th inning. Nobody warming up behind Cooper as this pitch misses high and away. We do have 2 outs here in the inning. Phipps started off this inning lining out to Frias as this one misses inside, blocked by Johnson. But then 4 consecutive batters reached against Cooper. Morrison walked, and then Poso, Chavez, and Pulfer each singled. After the ground out to Reynolds, the double by Metzger brought in Chavez and Pulfer as this one misses, and now Cooper behind in the count 3-0. And again, Cooper cruised through the first 7 batters tonight. As the automatic misses down low. So 3 walks in the game now for Jordan Cooper. And with that, the 9th hitter here in the 4th inning will come up. Nieves, who's 0 for 2. Metzger at second base, Rondon at first. First pitch to Nieves is low and away. Now that's not to say that Cooper was cruising. That's not to say that these Laredo batters weren't getting some good wood on them, because frankly they were. And those hits are now falling here in the 4th. As this one's low and away, so Johnson will go out and talk to Cooper once again. Now there's some movement in the Kansas City bullpen. Nobody is up throwing just yet. They're trying to make room. Before somebody warms up, they have some folding chairs lined up right next to the fence. Once somebody gets up, they have to move all the folding chairs, so they have done that, and now we'll get somebody loosening in the bullpen. Here's the 2-0 pitch. It's in there for a call and strike to Nieves. Nieves, the 9th hitter here this inning. 2 outs, 4-0 in favor of the Lemurs, as this one's in there for a strike. As the next pitch, a one-hopper to Frias, who spins, throws to second in time to get Rondon forced at second base. But an outstanding play by Vladimir Frias is, again, as we've seen a couple times off the bat of Nieves, just a rocket, a one-hopper, and Frias's view was partially blocked by the runner Metzger going by, but Frias able to grab it and make a quick throw to second base to force out Rondon for the final out of the inning. But not before Laredo will get a total of 4 runs here in the inning. They do it on 4 hits. There were no errors, and they'll leave a couple on base. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Kansas City now trailing 4-0. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
David Holman had been warming up for Kansas City. He sits down now as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Kansas City trailing Laredo 4-0. First pitch to Anthony Gallus is upstairs. Not to put too much emphasis on this, but Kansas City in this 7-inning game really needing to chip into this 4-0 deficit that they're facing against this very good hitting Lemur team. Marks, the right-hander, with the windup and the 1-1 pitch. It's a little bit upstairs. Gallus singled his last time up, was stranded at third base. With one out in that second inning, Vladimir Frias singled, putting Gallus at third, so Kansas City had runners at the corners. As Gallus rips this one toward the left field corner. He will round first. It caromed off that corner right next to the GA seats, played perfectly by Reynolds. And he will get it in before Gallus is able to try to turn that into two. So Gallus, who was hitless earlier today, gets his second hit of the night. And that brings up the left fielder, Tyson Gillies. Gillies struck out his last time up. Swings at the first pitch here and fouls it down the first base side off the tarp and toward right field. But in a 7-inning game, when you're trailing 4-0, you really need to chip into this Laredo lead. If Kansas City has hopes of making a postseason run, they need to string together a lot of wins. They are not mathematically eliminated, as Gillies fouls this one back. They're not mathematically eliminated from winning the division. But it is certainly a battle uphill of mountainous proportions. Next pitch to Gillies, misses low and inside, and the count's 1-2. And part of that reason is the way Winnipeg's been playing this year. St. Paul with the best record in the American Association at 56-34. Right behind them, Wichita at 54-35, and then in third place in the American Association is Winnipeg. Big swing and a miss. And Gillies will go down on strikes for the second time tonight. So Gillies electing not to try to put down a sacrifice and move Gallus over to second base. Ends up being the sixth strikeout of the night for Marks. And with one out, it brings up the shortstop, Vladimir Frias. First pitch to Frias in there for a strike. So coming into this game right here, Kansas City trailing Winnipeg in the wild card chase by 12.5 games. Gallus with his lead at first. The kick and the pitch to Frias. Big swing and a miss. So with that loss in the first game, Kansas City is mathematically eliminated from the wild card chase. No, pretty close at least. No, they are. Yeah. As a two-strike pitch to Frias, just missing outside. And really the players have been feeling that if they wanted to make the postseason, it was essentially, well, really the only way they would do that is by winning the Central. They currently trail Lincoln by 8 games. As this one is fouled sharply into the seats just beyond the Laredo dugout. And what a difference a couple weeks make. Marks comes set of the belt. The 1-2 to Frias. Curveball that's chopped fouled on the first base side. Kansas City, which has spent, for all intents and purposes, this whole season in last place in the Central, had not swept a team this year, had not won more than 2 games in a row this year, until 2 weeks ago here at Community America Ballpark. As the 1-2 pitch is chopped toward first. A tough play as Frias will be safe at first base. The first baseman Poso came in. Marks went over for it. And Frias is going to end up with an infield single as Marks trying to reach out and tag Frias going by, but Vladdy just too quick, and now Kansas City with runners at first and second. On the second hit of the night for Vladimir Frias. So first and second with 1 out, trailing 4-0, and it brings up the third baseman Ryan Retz. Retz struck out ending the second inning. I started to tell you that in that second inning, Kansas City had runners at the corners with 1 out. Frias was caught stealing for out number 2, and then Retz struck out ending the inning. And in a 7-inning game, that just looms even larger. So instead of getting a run, possibly 2 in that inning, Kansas City comes up empty. And they remain empty with 1 out here in the fourth. Trailing 4-0. Marks, the right-hander, comes set. Checks Gallus at second, comes to the plate with it. And it's in there for a strike. So the T-Bones had not swept a series, had not won more than 2 games in a row. So really had not had a winning streak here in 2016 until it began on August the 8th against Lincoln. As this pitch is upstairs, Retz is able to hold up. And taking off is Gallus, and he's going to be out at third. Gallus will try to plead his case, but for some reason, Gallus, I guess, thought he could catch Laredo off guard. And Gallus, I am not sure what he... now, on the replay, he was pretty close to being safe. Now, Kansas City might have gotten a couple calls that went their way in the top half of this inning. But Marks was standing on second, or on the mound looking at second base when Gallus took off. It really was not that tough of a play. And with that, a 1-2 pitch swung on and missed. Retz goes down on strikes for the second time tonight. And the second time tonight that Kansas City has both Gallus and Frias on. And they'll get a caught stealing in both instances and end up coming up empty. Jordan Cooper back on the hill for Kansas City as we go to the 5th inning with the T-Bones trailing it 4-0. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
Well, Kansas City with seemingly a couple opportunities to score tonight. And both times the caught stealing will essentially take that away. So we go to the fifth inning, 4-0 Laredo. Big swing and a miss by Phipps. And the count's even up 1-1. Laredo sent 9 to the plate last inning. Phipps led it off by lining out to the shortstop Frias. Here's the 1-1 from Cooper. Big curveball that missed somewhere. And you could tell with that call by A.J. Choate that Cooper was not happy. He picks up the rosin bag, slams it down, now gets back up and gives up a leadoff single to left. After that out to Phipps last inning, 4 consecutive batters reached. David Holman began to throw last inning for Kansas City. Looks like somebody's going to get up now. Phipps takes his lead off first as the first pitch misses down low to Morrison. Ty Morrison walked last inning and ended up scoring. And it looks like David Holman will begin to warm up once again for the T-Bones. Shuttlesworth was the first pitcher used today for Kansas City, so he would be unavailable. As the next pitch is lifted into right field, Wheat drifts over, camps under and pulls it down for out number 1. Dennis Phipps holds up at first base, and with 1 out here in the 5th, it brings up Jesus Poso. Poso 1 for 2. He grounded out in the second inning, or lined out rather in the second. He grounded out technically, but it was a ball that he lined up the middle, went off the glove of Cooper, and now Poso will lift this one about 15 stories, and it finds its way to the seats. As Poso lifts this one into right field, Wheat had it played perfectly for out number 2. So after a leadoff single by Phipps, Morrison and Poso fly out to the right fielder Wheat, and it brings up Zane Chavez. Chavez put the Lemurs on the board last inning with a 2-run single that scored Morrison and Poso. Chavez ended up scoring on a 2-run double by Metzger. As the first pitch is way upstairs to Chavez. Chavez, a .267 hitter, 5 home runs, 35 driven in. He has caught both games here today. As he ropes this one, but hooking foul down the right field side. Chavez has caught all 3 games of this series. A couple weeks ago, when Laredo was here for 4 games, we saw Chavez catch a couple and Poso catch a couple. Here's the kick and the 1-1. Popped up, but back over our heads. Chavez selected in the 19th round of the 2005 Major League Draft by the Kansas City Royals. He did not sign with Kansas City, though. And again, that was 2005. That was the year before. General Manager Dayton Morris. The runner takes off. The ball is lined into center field. Massey comes in and makes the play for out number 3. So after a leadoff single by Phipps, Cooper will get 3 outs, 3 flyouts to Morrison, Poso, and Chavez. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning with Kansas City trailing it 4-0. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. Providence Medical Group has offices in Bonner Springs, Basehor, Tonganoxie, Lansing, Leavenworth, and KCK. That's why we're the go-to community hospital in the region. If you're a T-Bones fan, count on the medical team that takes care of your team. The great doctors of Providence Medical Center, just east of the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Learn more at providencekc.com.
Heathwood Oil Company was the first independently owned oil company in Kansas City, and they're now one of the oldest continuously family-owned oil companies in the Midwest, featuring Citgo lubricants. With a current bulk storage capacity of over 250,000 gallons, they have the products you need. Let Heathwood and Citgo design a Citgo lubricants program to reduce cost and increase production. Call 913-321-1764 or email sales@heathwoodoil.com. Heathwood and Citgo, your lubrication specialist since 1926.
Kansas City trails 4-0 as we go to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Matt Folks here along with you, Community America Ballpark, and you can probably hear it. They did the 5th inning stretch, we'll say, and then they did the YMCA after that. And it's always funny to see people when they realize they're on the video board. And there was a couple below us, and so the camera's behind them and just showing some fans, and a woman had turned around to pick up her phone, and her friends point out that she's on the video board, so she looks up, and her male friend, husband, boyfriend, don't know, whatever, tried to lean in for a little smooch on the video board, and she would have none of it. Here's the 1-ball pitch to Johnson. He fouls it off the facing right above our heads. It was not the kiss cam, it was just YMCA, but she was not in a PDA kind of mood. 1-2 the count to Johnson. Johnson with a single in the third inning. He's 1 for 1. T-Bone's trailing it 4-0. Here's the windup in the 1-2. Fouled right off the catcher Chavez's hand, it looked like. Troy Marks at 67 pitches. And if you had told me in the second inning that as this one's grounded right between the wickets of Marks, but fielded by the shortstop Rondon, who throws to first for an outstanding play, getting Nolan Johnson 6-3 for the putout. But if you had told me after the second inning that one pitcher would struggle a little bit, give up 4 runs, one pitcher would basically throw about 12, 13 pitches in an inning and scatter a few hits, I would have said that Cooper would be the one that would scatter a few hits and Marks would struggle. That has not been the case as the first pitch to Massey is low and away. Marks threw a lot of pitches during those first 2 innings. Gave up 3 hits in the first 2 innings. And has scattered 3 more since then as this one's fouled back and out of play. Meanwhile, Cooper retired the first 7 batters that he faced. Gave up a single with 1 out in the third inning to the number 8 hitter Brendan Mesker. Walked Rondon before getting Nieves to fly out, but then in the next inning, the 4th inning, he faced 9, and Laredo came away with 4 runs. And they lead it here 4-0. Counts 2-1 to Massey. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning of a 7-inning game. Marks with a long look into Chavez, gets the one he wants. Here's the 2-1. Fastball that's high and inside. 88 on that fastball from Marks. Next pitch to Marks, grounded down toward first. It's off the heel of the glove of Poso, and Massey's going to be safe. The second error of the night for the first baseman Poso. He had an error in the first game today, tonight, whatever you want to call it. And now this one just went off the heel of his glove. So an E3 that allows Massey to reach. That's the first error for either team here tonight. And with 1 out, it brings up Dalton Wheat. Wheat 1 for 2, singled back in the first inning, struck out in the third. Marks has 7 strikeouts in the game. Seven out of his 13 outs have been strikeouts, and every single one of them of the swinging variety. As the first pitch to Wheat is fouled back to the screen. Unfortunately for Kansas City, several of those strikeouts have come at really bad times. There's rarely a good time for a strikeout, but certainly not a good time when you have a runner at third base. Not a good time when you have a runner at second base and you get 2 strikeouts. Here's the 1-strike pitch to Wheat, fouled back to the screen. 4 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for the Lemurs. No runs, 6 hits, no errors for Kansas City. 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Next pitch for Marks. Curveball that's tapped to the right side of the infield, and Marks will chase it down and flip to a covering Poso for the second out. So a 1-3 put out as Massey goes to second base. Brings up the second baseman, Wiley. Marks started this season in the rotation for Laredo. Went to the bullpen and now back in that starting rotation. He is one of just 2 Lemurs to be in the starting rotation at the beginning of the year, still with the club. Big curveball misses outside to Wiley. The 1-ball pitch, grounded foul down toward the tarp along the first base side. Laredo is a team, one of the best pitching staffs in the American Association. In fact, they are second with a 3.79 ERA. The only team better than Laredo, ERA-wise, is Lincoln at 3.67. As the next pitch to Wiley, swung on and missed. 1-2. Lincoln has given up 315 earned runs, 371 runs total, and 772 innings. Laredo has given up 325 earned runs, 364 total, and 772 in the third. The 1-2 to Wiley, swung on and missed, dropped by Chavez, but he will pick it up and throw to first to complete the strikeout. The 8th strikeout of the night for Troy Marks. So that'll do it for Kansas City here in the 5th. And Jordan Cooper's night is done. We'll wait to see who comes in. Presumably David Holman. Well, we'll find out after this break. Kansas City trailing 4-0. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn and Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn and Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
David Holman, the new pitcher for Kansas City, as we go to the sixth inning. Lamers leading it 4-0. And David Holman making his first appearance against Laredo in his career. And the first pitch that he throws against Laredo in his career is in there for a strike. Holman here to face Pulfer, Reynolds, and Metzger, as we're in the sixth inning of a 7-inning game. So Jordan Cooper went 5 innings tonight, gave up 6 hits, 4 runs, all 4 were earned. Walked 1, struck out 3. Threw 85 pitches, 49 for strikes, as Pulfer lines this one down the right field side toward the kids' play area. David Holman, 4-4 with a 4.81 ERA and 18 appearances. He started 10 games earlier this year, as this fastball at 88 misses upstairs. Holman in 67 1/3 innings has given up 96 hits. 46 runs, 36 have been earned, as he will get a strikeout here of J.D. Pulfer. So the first strikeout for Holman and the first out here in the sixth inning, as Pulfer has struck out twice. As Nolan Johnson goes out and talks to Holman, I'm not sure what they were. It was long enough that home plate umpire A.J. Cho had plenty of time to walk out there, saunter out there, if you will, and break up the meeting. So Burt Reynolds the batter now, as the first pitch to Reynolds is chopped foul down the third base side. Holman has walked 25 and struck out 28 in his 67 1/3 innings. He's given up 5 home runs, 19 doubles, which is second on the team. Here's a one hopper to Retz over at third. He'll make a strong throw for out number 2. So a 5-3 put out for out number 2, and it brings up the center fielder, Brendan Metzger. Holman has faced 320 hitters, and they're hitting .339 against him, which for all intents and purposes is the highest among Kansas City pitchers. The only reason we say for all intents and purposes is some of you may remember Jake Blackwood pitching an inning early in the year in a blowout. Jake gave up 5 runs on 5 hits in 1 inning. Here's a pitch that swung on a miss by Metzger. 0-2 the count with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Jake faced 9 batters, and they are hitting .625 against him. A windup in the 2-strike pitch in the dirt, gets away from Johnson, but nobody on base. Four to nothing. Laredo on top. 4 runs, 6 hits, 1 error. 4 left on for Laredo. No runs, 6 hits, no errors. 6 left on for Kansas City. As Metzger skies this one down the first base side, but it's going to find its way to the seats. This is the final game between these two clubs here in 2016. Laredo goes to Joplin to begin a 4-game series. They have a doubleheader at Joplin tomorrow night. Here's the 1-2 to Metzger. Grounded foul down the third base side. The T-Bones, meanwhile, will leave tomorrow morning, head to Gary, Indiana. And raise your hand if you hear Gary, Indiana, and you're ready to start singing the song. The windup and the 1-2 to Metzger. Chopped foul on the third base side. Just past the camera bay. Three games at Gary beginning tomorrow night. 7:10 tomorrow night, 6:10 on Saturday, and 2:10 on Sunday. And then 4 games at Fargo before returning for the final regular season homestand. 4 games here at Community America Ballpark against Sioux Falls. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Labor Day. The first 3 at 7:05. As this pitch misses somewhere. So with that questionable call by A.J. Choate, it is now a full count. 2 outs, nobody on, 4-0 Laredo. Holman wheels and deals the payoff pitch. And it's tapped foul at home plate by Metzger. So Metzger really making Holman work for this out. And this is one of those times as a pitcher you begin to think, what do I need to throw? Where do I need to throw it to get this guy? Here's the 3-2 pitch. Metzger does not chase this one. It's high and away. So a 2-out walk given up to Brendan Metzger, and it brings up the number 9 hitter, Alvaro Rondon. Rondon has walked twice tonight. Both of them turned out to be harmless. First pitch to Rondon. He chops it towards second. Wiley up with it over to first in time for the third out. So the 2-out walk to Metzger ends up not costing Kansas City anything. However, Kansas City now down to their final 6 outs, trailing it 4-0 as we go to the bottom of the 6th. A new pitcher comes in for Laredo. We'll see if Kansas City can do anything against the Lemur bullpen when we come back on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Danny Reynolds, the new pitcher for Laredo. Reynolds, 6 feet, 190 pounds. Has spent time in the Angels organization. Making his first appearance here in this series. He's 1-0 with a 2.61 ERA. In his first 10 games. He has pitched in 10 1/3 innings. His first task will be against Jake Blackwood, and Reynolds brings it in there at 96. Blackwood, Gallus, Gillies here in the 6th inning with Kansas City trailing it 4-0. The windup of the next pitch is fouled off the screen. Danny Reynolds in 10 1/3 innings has given up 6 hits, 3 runs, all 3 have been earned. And not surprisingly, with the type of fastball he has a strikeout to walk ratio of 19-2. Opponents hitting 158 against him. Here's the 0-2 pitch, it's low and away. Reynolds has pitched in 2 games against Kansas City this year, 1 2/3 innings. The T-Bones have 1 run on 3 hits against him. Big swing and a miss. Blackwood will go down on strikes leading off the 6th inning. So the first strikeout for Reynolds, and it brings up the DH, Anthony Gallus. So with that 1 run in 1 2/3 innings, Reynolds' ERA, as small as that sampling size is, his ERA against Kansas City is 5.40. The windup in the first pitch to Gallus is fouled back to the screen. In 1 2/3 innings, now in a full 2 innings against Kansas City. Reynolds has struck out 4 and walked 0. So we close the book on marks as the 1-strike pitch is on the outside part of the plate for a call strike 2. Fans in the front row here at Community America Ballpark not happy with that call by A.J. Chope. Marks went 5, gave up 6 hits. No runs, struck out 8, walked 1. Big swing and a miss. So Reynolds comes in and strikes out the first two T-bones he faces here in the sixth inning. And with two outs, it brings up the left fielder, Tyson Gillies. Four runs, 6 hits, 1 error for the Lemurs. No runs, 6 hits, no errors for Kansas City. Reynolds out of the full windup. First pitch to Gillies, fouled back to the screen. Gillies exceptionally late on that 93-mile-an-hour fastball for Reynolds. A tough night for Gillies thus far, 2 strikeouts. He is not the only one, as Wiley has struck out a couple times. Rentz has struck out twice, as this one's in there for a strike. Wiley's 2 strikeouts sandwiched a walk. But there have been 10 strikeouts thrown by Laredo pitchers here tonight. The windup and the 2-strike pitch to Gillies. Swung on and missed. He gets away from Chavez, but he'll pick it up and throw to first in time. And Reynolds will come in and strike out the side. 3 up, 3 down for the first time here tonight for the T-Bones. We've played 6. We head to the last inning with Kansas City trailing it by a score of 4-0. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com. It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
We go to the 7th inning, the final inning, at least of regulation here in this game. Lamers leading it 4-0, and Mark Haynes will come in and pitch this inning for Kansas City. Mark Haynes, one of the best closers in the league, has 15 saves. Only one other current T-Bones pitcher has any saves, and that's Johnny Shuttlesworth, who has 1. The next pitch to Nieves is down low. Haynes comes in to face the 1-2-3 hitters. Nieves, Phipps, and Morrison. Haynes making his 36th appearance. He's 4-2 with a 3.38 ERA. Pitching against his former team. He has done quite well against the Lemurs this year. He's pitched in 5 games, 5 innings. He has 3 saves, a 1.80 ERA. He's given up 6 hits, 1 run. As this one is swung on a miss, and he will strike out Abel Nieves, leading off the 7th inning. So the first strikeout for Haynes, and the first out here in the 7th inning. Against Laredo this year, Haynes now with 11 strikeouts to 1 walk. Dennis Phipps, the batter now. Phipps in on the right side of the plate. This one is swung on and missed. Haynes, you won't be able to hear it, but Haynes with a little snort, a little grunt as he delivers each pitch. I asked him one time if he realizes he does it or if it's something on purpose. And it is, actually. It kind of goes along with the idea, and if you watch tennis at all, you see a lot of tennis players when they serve, they let out a quick grunt or a quick little snare. And there are scientific reasons behind that. Haynes studied that up a little bit, and it gives him a little bit extra oomph as this one's popped up just into foul territory down the first base side. Blackwood is there to make the play. So I asked him, I says, do you do it for intimidation purposes? Do you do it to throw off a hitter and all? He said, no. He says just this scientific idea that you just get a little bit more behind those pitches, much like a tennis player gets a little bit more behind a serve. Ty Morrison, the batter now, with 2 outs here in the 7th. T-Bones trail 4-0. This is a 7-inning game unless Kansas City can score 4 and extend it. And take 5 as well and just end it. 1 strike to Morrison. The windup in the pitch is a little bit high and inside. So Mark Haynes, the 3rd pitcher used tonight for Kansas City, following up Jordan Cooper and David Holman. As the next pitch paints the black on the outside corner for a call, strike 2. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Nobody on base for the Lemurs as Haynes wheels and deals the 1-2 pitch. And it's a chopper towards short. Free us up with it. Quick throw over to first in time, and Haynes will get a quick 1-2-3 inning. And that is the first time that Laredo has been retired in order since the 2nd inning here tonight. But we go to the bottom of the 7th. Kansas City needing 4 to extend this game. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services. An accredited chest pain center or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
We go to the bottom of the seventh inning. Kansas City trailing 4-0. And Reynolds, the one-inning guy for Laredo, is done. He went one inning, struck out the side. Did not allow a base runner, threw 10 pitches, 9 were strikes. So Kamakani Usui will be the new pitcher for the Lemurs, with Kansas City needing 4 runs. Usui, during the last homestand for Kansas City, during that homestand that they swept Laredo, Usui got the loss in the walk-off game for the T-Bones. First pitch a strike to Frias. As the next pitch gets Frias on the head. So Frias will head down toward first, and the first base umpire, Kurt Brandon, will call trainer Josh Adams out to check on Frias as Vladdy walks down to first. Kamakani Usui, 6 feet, 195 pounds. And it looks like Vladdy's okay. The pitch knocked his helmet off. But he will be the first hit batter here in these 2 games today. Brings up the third baseman, Ryan Retz. Retz in on the right side of the plate as the first pitch from Usui misses down low. In that game that Usui got the loss, the walk-off game, with the bases loaded, Usui hit Tyler Moore square in the back, scoring the winning run. Here's the 1-ball pitch to Retz, fouled directly back. And it's 1-1. Ranso for 2 tonight with 2 strikeouts. Again, we are in the bottom of the 7th inning of a 7-inning game. So Kansas City needing at least 4 to salvage this series. As this one's down low. Kansas City will have a pinch hitter coming up for Nolan Johnson. Here's the 2-1. Fastball that misses low and away. Usui has a very jerky type move. Borderline violent. It's almost reminiscent of Kevin Apier, longtime Royals pitcher. And herky-jerky probably isn't the word I wanted to use for that. As the next pitch is launched but foul to the left of the micro league brew stand, or micro league beer stand, that sits just behind the GA section. So a full count to Ryan Retz. Retz on the right side of the plate. Usui, the right-hander, kicks and delivers. And it's lined toward right center. The center fielder coming in, makes a dive, and makes the catch as Metzger tracks it down for out number one. An outstanding play by Metzger. Keeps Kansas City off the board because with a speedy Vladimir Frias at first base, if that gets by Metzger, Frias scores easily. As it stands, Metzger makes the diving catch. And there's one away with Frias at first. Now we have a pinch hitter. Number 1, Starlin Rodriguez. Of course, they're still showing Nolan Johnson on the scoreboard. Rodriguez digs in on the right side of the plate. He pinch hit in the first game today. He went 0 for 2. Next pitch from Usui is in there for a called strike. There we go. They got the scoreboard fixed. One away, bottom of the 7th, 4-0 Laredo. The next pitch, curveball, is upstairs. So if Kansas City scores 4 runs and 4 runs only, your catcher Nolan Johnson is out of the game. And again, Tyler Moore placed on the inactive list with a broken finger as this pitch is swung on a miss by Rodriguez. Kansas City in the process of signing a new catcher. You will likely hear about him sometime this weekend. Unless Kansas City scores 4 runs and they have indeed signed him between games here today. Here's the 2-2. Way inside Rodriguez. Vladimir Frias led off this inning by being hit in the coconut. Ryan Retz flied out, and now it's 3-2 to Rodriguez. Here's the payoff pitch. Line sharply just over the head of a diving Dave Schaub, third base coach. Dog was down on all fours as that one almost got him in the coconut. So the count remains 3-2 with 1 out. Rodriguez in on the right side of the plate. Usui with a quick throw over to first, trying to keep Vladimir Frias close. Vladdy earlier tonight, back in the second inning, singled and was caught stealing. Kansas City has wasted a couple opportunities here tonight. The payoff pitch, Vladdy is going, and the pitch is high and inside. So the tying run is now on deck as Tyler Massey comes up. And pitching coach Ben Moore will come out and talk with Usui. So Kansas City at the top of the order now with Tyler Massey, Dalton Wheat on deck, and Brett Wiley in the hole. Laredo leading this game 4-0. All 4 runs came against Jordan Cooper back in the 4th inning. After Dennis Phipps lined out leading off the inning, the next 4 Laredo batters reached a walk and 3 hits. All 4 of those who reached ended up scoring. A 2-run single by Chavez and a 2-run double by Metzger gave Laredo all 4 of its runs. They lead it 4-0. So Ben Moore done talking with Usui. Kansas City runners at first and second, 1 out here in the 7th. The first pitch to Massey way inside. So the last thing you want to do at this point if you're Kansas City is help out a struggling Usui. He hit Frias in the head, walked Rodriguez. And this one's down the middle for a strike. So 1-1 now to Massey. Usui, the right-hander, comes set. The kick and the 1-1 pitch is in the dirt. Blocked by Chavez, keeping Frias at second and Rodriguez at first. Kansas City has yet to score tonight. Did not score in game 2. So back-to-back shutouts. As this one's in there for a strike to Massey, and the count's even up 2-2. The voice of your T-Bones, Nathan Moore, pointing that out to me. We can both state the obvious, as this pitch is high and away. So the count full now to Massey. First and second, 1 away, bottom of the 7th. Kansas City down 4-0. The kick and the payoff pitch is high and inside. So the bases are loaded for Dalton Wheat. So Usui has hit 1 and walked 2, and the bases are full. Dalton Wheat had a single in the first inning. He's 1 for 3 on the night. A base hit would cut this lead in half. And he lines it into right field on the first pitch. Rodriguez is being waved around. The throw goes to second base, so Rodriguez scores, and Kansas City has cut this in half, 4-2. on the 2-run single by Dalton Weed as Massey moves up to third. So Frias scores, Rodriguez scores, Massey goes to third, and Brett Wiley is at the plate. And just like that, the Kansas City dugout has come alive, and everybody in that dugout is up on the fence. 1 out, bottom of the 7th. A base hit by Wiley, who is looking for his first hit of the night, would make this a 1-run game. As the first pitch is high and inside. The only out this inning was Ryan Retz, who flied out to center on a great diving play by the center fielder Metzger. Here's the 1-ball pitch. Grounded to the first baseman Poso, who comes to the plate with it. Massey was going on contact, and he's thrown out. So they will cut Massey down at home plate. And with runners at first and second and 2 outs, Pete Incaviglia makes the long, slow walk to the mound. That's going to do it for Usui. So the worst that happens to Usui is a no decision, a tie ball game. The best that happens for Kansas City is Jake Blackwood ending this with 1 swing. 4-2 in favor of Laredo. We take a 2-minute timeout. Back to the new pitcher after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Well, in a game that Kansas City really has to win, not just to salvage this 3-game series, but to keep a glimmer of playoff hopes alive. The next two hitters would be good ones to put this game away, as Luis De La Cruz comes in for the Lemurs. Runners at first and second, 2 outs, 4-2. Lemurs on top. Jake Blackwood is the batter. Blackwood looking for his first hit of the night. His 14th home run of the year would win this thing for Kansas City here in the bottom of the 7th. This is a 7-inning game. First pitch from De La Cruz is upstairs, 94 on that fastball to Blackwood. Jake 0 for 3, 2 flyouts and a strikeout. De La Cruz, 2-1 with 4 saves and a 2.68 ERA. A tall, lanky right-hander. Throws in the mid-90s as this fastball at 90 is blown away. De La Cruz, 6'6", 225 pounds. He pitched 1 inning on Tuesday night and struck out 2. Blackwood digs back in on the right side of the plate. The kick and the pitch is popped up. Might find the seats, and it will, as Chavez gives chase. But he runs out of real estate. Kansas City with 2 runs here in the 7th inning. Vladimir Frias was hit in the head by Kamakani Usui. He ended up scoring the first run of the night for the T-Bones. But now Weed is at second, Wiley's at first, 2 outs. Jake Blackwood at the plate. The 2-1 pitch is way inside, 92 on that fastball. Anthony Gallus, who had a 3-run inside the park home run on Tuesday night, awaits on deck. With a speedy Weed at second, a base hit would cut this to 1. Wiley with good speed at first. De La Cruz kicks and delivers. Big swing and a miss. The changeup was inside and had Blackwood fooled. The count's full. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Laredo 4, Kansas City 2. 2 on for the T-Bones, who have won 1 game in this homestand, and it was on a walk-off on Saturday. The kick and the pitch is swung on and tipped as Blackwood breaks his bat over his knee. So frankly, if you were Laredo, you had the guy in there that you wanted in there. And De La Cruz, if you're Kansas City, you had the guy at the plate that you wanted at the plate in Jake Blackwood. And De La Cruz ends up getting the better of that matchup. And Kansas City will end up being swept by Laredo, losing it here in this game by a final of 4-2. Here in the 7th inning for the T-Bones, they ended up with 2 runs on just 1 hit. There was a hit batter, 2 walks, and a single. There were no errors, and the T-Bones left 2 on base. Tell you what, let's take a quick timeout. We'll be back with the finals right after this. As we tell you once again, Kansas City losing it by a final of 4-2. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Welcome back to Community America Ballpark as Kansas City loses both games here today. They lose the first game today 3-0. That was a continuation of last night's game. They lost 3-0 in that one and trailed 4-0 until the 7th inning here tonight. The T-Bones earlier in this homestand won a game in a similar situation where they continued one game, finished that game up, played a 7-inning game, and then ended up winning that in a walk-off. They had an opportunity here in the 7th inning here tonight. And again, you had the guy at the plate that you would want at the plate in Jake Blackwood with Anthony Gallus on deck. De La Cruz on the hill for the Lemurs, and De La Cruz ended up getting the best of that battle as Blackwood ended up striking out with the tying run at first, and with him as the winning run. Laredo wins it 4-2, 4 runs, 6 hits, 1 error, 5 left on for the Lemurs. 2 runs, 7 hits, no errors, and 8 left on for Kansas City. Marks gets the win, Cooper the loss. De La Cruz comes in and gets the save. The time of tonight's game, 2 hours and 29 minutes, with 3,736 in attendance here tonight. So Kansas City, after sweeping Lincoln and Laredo in their last homestand, winning all 7 games in that homestand with the longest winning streak that they've had all season, and really a brighter glimmer of hope, we'll say, for a postseason spot. At that time, had a tough road trip at Wichita and a very tough homestand here as Kansas City ends this 6-game homestand 1-5. The one win coming on a walk-off in a 7-inning game last Saturday against Texas. Kansas City mathematically eliminated from the wild card spot, and they are running out of games to get the Division I here in the Central. The T-Bones, however, will head to Gary for a 3-game series beginning tomorrow night. 7:10 first pitch, 6:10 on Saturday, 2:10 on Sunday, and then 4 games at Fargo Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, with the first 3 games starting at 7:02, and then the finale of that series next Thursday, a little bit after 12. And then Kansas City begins its final homestand of the year next Friday night, a week from tomorrow. A 4-game series against Sioux Falls, with the first 3 games in that series at 7:05, including fireworks on Saturday and Sunday nights. And then Labor Day, a 1:05 afternoon game, and that will wrap up the regular season here in 2016. So once again, Laredo sweeping Kansas City. They won the first game in this series by a final of 13-9. They won game number 2, which finished earlier today, 3-0. And they win the nightcap here by a final of 4-2. T-Bones here on the season dropped to 39-50. And Laredo improves to 50-38. Sam King will be with you during this road trip. I'll be back with you next Friday, and then Nathan Moore will be with you to take you through the final 3 games here of this regular season. You can go to tbonesbaseball.com and get your tickets for that series, which includes fan appreciation, a couple nights of fireworks. So it'll be a fun time here at the ballpark on Labor Day weekend. Special thanks to my outstanding media relations crew. They did a great job tonight, more or less. Kansas City losing it. We'll be back with you tomorrow night, Sam King, at approximately 7 o'clock from Gary, Indiana, with that action. Until then, this is Matt Folk saying be safe and take care, everyone. This game on the T-Bones Broadcast Network was brought to you by Community America Credit Union, Austin's Trailers and Motorsports, Budweiser, Coca-Cola, Price Chopper, Providence Medical Center, the Kansas Lottery, FlyKCI.com, Roma Bakery, Sheet Metal Local Number 2, and Kissick Construction. Tune in online all season to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. Click on the Watch Live or Listen Live buttons at tbonesbaseball.com. T-Bones Baseball, that's fun. Well done.